going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta! I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
You shall not pass!
RBS.
Lovely.
Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of RBS Cinema. This week's episode, we are talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Or if you're an intellectual like we are, FNAF. And
Intellectual
yeah,
acronyms. Super intellectual.
FNAF. We're going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, I'm your host, Devin, hostess with the mostest. Here's my co-host, Jack.
I'm the co-host with the mostest. With the co-host with the co-mostest.
Sure,
Something like
we'll
that.
go with that.
Yeah.
So we decided to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's because the new one is coming out by the time this is uploaded onto YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts now. Be sure to subscribe and like and comment, share, and follow all that stuff. So we really appreciate that if you do that.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It'd be awesome. But other than that, I have an inkling to go and see it. Not really like, oh, I have to rush to go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Like, nothing like that. It's mostly the fact that, like, I saw the first one a couple years ago when it was first out on streaming and stuff, and, like, it was all right. Like, that's going to be where I sit for my review as of right now. It's just, like, it's all right. But even for the second one, by the time this comes out, it's going to be in theaters. I would probably just say wait for it to be out on streaming. Unless you are a dedicated hardcore fan. Or if you're going to go see it with your friends, then that's fine. Then I guess you can go see it. But don't really rush out to go and watch it, I feel like. So, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, because I watched the film as well, like several years ago. I think it was the year that came out that it finally came to streaming. Someone in my Discord server was like, "Hey, who wants to watch the FNAF movie? I have it on streaming." I was like, "Sure, why not? That sounds hilarious."
Yeah.
And we watched it, and I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked. Well, I didn't think. It's not.
It's not an outstanding movie.
I liked it. Is
Yeah.
a better summation of my experience watching the FNAF movie. I liked it, and I still like it.
Yeah.
After I
think it's
watched
fine,
it,
but we'll get more into that as we go on with our discussion about the movie. But before we talk about that, let's talk about our watch lists.
Oh yeah, I suppose we could do that.
I completely forgot, like, up until last night when I was watching the movie. I go like, God, what did I watch for the week? And then I was like, I didn't really watch anything throughout the week, but then I remembered, like, oh, well, I did watch some stuff during the weekend of the podcast, and then I also watched, like, maybe one thing in the week, like in the middle of the week. So, but do you want to go first on watch list, or do you want me to go first? Well, let me see. How long is your watch list?
Not long, and
Okay.
again, I'll go over it super quickly. Nothing too in depth. I finished watching the first season of Windbreaker. Really good. I really liked it. Really liked the animation style on it. It came out in like 2024. Interesting concept for that. It's like a. I think I talked about it a little bit on the last episode. So, but if you didn't watch that, basically it's an anime where these delinquents, delinquent high schoolers, they are like sort of a gang, and they protect the town that they're in from other gangs and stuff like that, and they wear these really cool jackets. And the protagonist is like new to town, and he joins their group, and sort of he's like a really good. They just beat each other up basically.
Yeah.
So Windbreaker's really fun. I was watching some more episodes of Death Note.
Nice.
I'm almost to the end of that, so I'm anxious to see how that ends. Like I said, this is my first time watching it, and then
It's really good. I think I bought the whole series on digital for like $5.
yeah,
So
it's only like 38
great.
episodes, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how short
It's
it was.
great. I also bought Samurai Champloo for $5. There's like a bunch of anime. Trigun that I bought for $5. There was like
Okay, but which Trigun?
the original,
Okay.
not Stampede when it came out on Hulu.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then all day today because, Devin and I have been trapped at home for most part of the day because it was a huge snowstorm that came through.
Well, not
at the very
necessarily trapped. For me, at least, I was trapped in a movie theater watching a special K-pop event, which, unbeknownst to me and my wife, was almost 4 hours long.
He looks super
but-
enthused for you, none.
Other than that, the event was
for the
actually
listeners.
fine. I'll say that much. It's not really a group that I've listened to. My wife listens to it in the car, and when I'm driving around with her, that's fine. I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, oh, well, I don't really like the group and blah, blah, blah. I just find their music to be fine. It's not my preferred taste, is what I also told her. So, but the concert live stream event, it was fine. Like,
Okay, so he wasn't trapped at home, but it's around like I don't know 7:30 when we were watching this because this morning when we tried to do it again, it was like 6 inches of snow that
Yeah.
piled up today. So we decided to do this episode a little bit later. So stuck at home all day. I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to watch the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things season 5.
Yeah.
Which is what I did. It's good. It's okay. I haven't finished it yet, and the last episode's coming out in theaters and on Netflix simultaneously. Is going to be like basically a film. So,
right.
Like the amount of production they put into it, I think was worth the wait. I think.
Yeah, I feel like that it's crazy of how much production that they've put into this series when originally it wasn't like that big of a production for
Right.
Netflix, because now I feel like that Stranger Things is their flagship series.
Oh, for sure.
So
It makes them so much money.
yeah, because like they did House of Cards. I think that was like one of the first series that Netflix ever did.
And then they went for that a little bit. And
Yeah,
then they made,
and then they
Stranger Things.
made Stranger Things, and now that has become their flagship, like
And
biggest series of all time. I feel like
since House of Cards was made, Netflix is just this titan now. It was again just a service to be able to mail movies to you.
yeah.
If you wanted to watch them, rent movies, and now they're the biggest streaming service outside of like Disney Plus
Yeah.
and Hulu. I mean Hulu is owned by Disney, so
Well, yeah.
But,
But I
like-
mean, like, I don't really count Hulu as being oriented by Disney, though.
Netflix is making so much money
Uh-huh.
that they can really invest in Stranger Things. So
Yeah.
I'll see how it ends. One gripe that I do have with it real quick is that like the opening scene of like the first episode of Stranger Things season 5 is really freaking weird because they basically do like a thing where they take the actor who is now grown up, but he was a kid
Yeah.
when the season first started,
Right.
and they CGI'd his face to look younger.
God,
and
no.
it looks
Is it-
so
Is it Will?
bad.
Or is
It's Will,
it-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So because Will's running through the upside down,
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from the
Demogorgons
and they CGI'd his face to look younger.
Jeez.
Or they just like he looks like a video game character.
That's crazy.
It's really bad. But
Yeah,
as far
'cause,
as I
like,
can tell,
me-
that's the only time that they've really done that in that season. But
Yeah.
it's noticeable.
Jeez. Yeah, me and my wife were talking about that this morning when she was getting ready for the special event.
Yeah.
And she was all like, we were talking about Millie Bobby Brown, and we're like, yeah, she's like 30 years old, but she's still portraying like
She is not 30.
Well, she's not 30 years old, but like we were talking about how
She's
old
21,
that
I'm
she
pretty
is.
sure.
Is she 21?
Yeah, she's 21.
Huh. I guess I didn't realize how old or young she really was, but like I remember because like we were talking about her and we were like, yeah, she's gotten work done for plastic surgery and like she's done a bunch of other stuff besides Stranger Things now, and it's just like, how do you go back to being more like a child
Yeah.
in a series when you're supposed to be like 12, 13 years old? like that sort of thing.
It's like watching David Harbour sort of like hobble around. You know,
Right.
He's getting old. He's getting
oh
up
yeah,
there.
oh yeah, 100%.
And he's been in a lot of other stuff. Like he was in F1.
Yeah.
We saw that movie on this podcast.
No, it wasn't F1.
No, not F1.
No.
It was Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
right. It's
F1 was Brad Pitt.
Whatever. It's another car movie.
another
But he was
racing
in
car
Gran
movie.
Turismo,
Yeah.
and he was in Thunderbolts and Black Widow.
Yep.
So he's gotten around. I like watching David Harbour.
Yeah,
Like,
he's pretty good.
but all in all, it's going pretty good so far. Annie wasn't into the first episode, so I just been watching it by myself.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty much how it goes.
to see how it ends, because I was watching the last episode literally when Devin texted me, "Hey, we're done with the K-pop thing. Come over here and drive through like unplowed roads to be able to come do this podcast."
Pretty much.
So if you were doubting our dedication to you, the fans, about wanting to get this production done, I literally drove here without being able to see through my driver's side window because it was iced all over and I couldn't get it off with my ice scraper.
Now,
So-
I will preface this. You don't have to risk your life to be on the podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure. Please don't repeat my actions. This is like don't do this. Don't try as a home type of deal. You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that's basically my watch list. The only other thing that I've sort of been watching was just stand up of Robin Williams.
Nice.
So
That's pretty good.
I actually.
I've only seen one of his stand-ups, and that was him live in Washington, D.C.
I feel like I watched so much of him that I eventually just started talking like him.
Right.
Like just talking fast and being able to like say things quickly because he just has that like fast speech on him. So I love Robin Williams. So
Oh, yeah. He's
I was
great.
suggesting to Devin that we should probably do a Robin Williams movie at some point based on the stuff I was watching last week. So but that's basically it for me. I don't remember anything else that I really think off the top of my head that I watched. So
Cool.
oh yeah, it was Thanksgiving last week. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
your
my
watch
watch list. I only have like a few movies. So first up on my list, I have The Conjuring 4. So, it's okay. I mean, honestly, I recently found out that the Warrens were actually con artists. So, because if for those of you that are not familiar with this, and Jack included,
I'm
so
not. So
the thing is that reason why that I call them con artists is because that's what they are. So, Anne and Lorraine Warren, I think that because she is supposed to be connected to like the spirit world in a sense, and then he's supposed to be more like religious. But when they were first like dating, he wanted to be like an artist, and then so he went to art school, but then he ended up either dropping out or he got kicked out or something like that.
I'm sorry. Are these real people or are these characters
Yes.
in the film?
No,
Okay.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are real life people that actually did these things that are in the movies.
Oh, I've never seen The Conjuring, so I don't know the plot.
So basically, it's the paranormal stuff. Okay, so there's a family that needs help because they have a poltergeist in their house, and then they go and then they investigate, and then they like kick out the demon. Basically,
Okay.
That's where Annabelle came from. That's where the Nun came from. Is from these movies specifically.
Okay.
But the Warrens were actually con artists because like they would hear about people having like, oh, like these people are just idiots. So we'll just go to their houses thinking that something's wrong with it. We'll tell them, hey, you have a ghost in your house. We need to like investigate and do all this bunch of stuff to kick them out. You just give us $5,000 and then we'll go ahead and take care of it. So it's kind of like that whole shtick that they pulled because early on in their careers of them like doing paranormal investigations, he would paint their houses, right? So like they would paint the landscape with the house in it, and then like he would just paint a little thing of a ghost in like the bushes or something, and then he would just be like, oh yeah, look, there's the ghost, it's right there. Like, you have a ghost, we gotta act now, and like that whole thing. So it's not, they're not great people. And plus like when Lorraine Warren was still alive, because he died first and then she went sometime before or sometime after, like she died recently at like 90 something years old. And so like when they were originally doing the Conjuring movies, she wanted the final say so on the events that happened, that she could recollect of what happened for like these specific movies that they were touching base on their specific cases that they were working on. And because like there's footage of, especially like in the second movie, where they go to England and they have to go and like kick out this demon, because that's how it always is. It's always a demon. And like that's where the nun came from, was from the second movie. But they interviewed like these, like the two daughters, and one of them goes, like the interviewer goes like, so like how does it feel like knowing that your house is like haunted and stuff, or has a ghost or whatever? She goes like, it's not haunted. And so her older sister like turns to her and whispers like, shut up. Like, because they also know it's not haunted. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with their house. Like there's a picture of the main daughter like being levitated off the bed or something like that, but it just turns out that she's just jumping off the bed, and like they just took a picture of that. So but yeah, it was just really weird. But more on the fourth movie specifically, it's supposed to be their last ever mission that they do, right? And so like this is supposed to be the end of the Conjuring world, or not the world, but like the Conjuring movies specifically. So they're supposed to be done with the Conjuring specific movies. But it's all right. Like again, because like Ed had a heart attack, so he's not able to do like their normal investigative thing that they've done throughout the movies. And because he was more of the religious type, and then she was more of like the spiritual type.
Yeah.
But like they went hand in hand on the religious thing, right? So he would read from the Bible, and then like to kick out the spirit, and then so she would feel the presence of the ghost or the spirit or whatever. And so it's like, oh, like, yeah, there's a presence here or whatever. So it was okay. They got their daughter involved, and like their daughter in the fourth movie is like older, and she has the same connection as her mom, but from a young age she told her just to suppress it. And then by the end of it, she just goes like, don't run away, don't suppress it, engage with it, like try to fuck around with it, and like you can master this like I did, and all this bunch of stuff. So they kicked out the ghost, and then everything's all well said and good and whatever. So but then they officially retire. So that's by like the thing. Next on my list I have The Lost Boys. I never seen this movie before. It's a old 80s vampire joint. So it's all about these it's like this family, mom, two brothers. They move into California, and can't remember the specific town. I think it was maybe Sacramento. I could be wrong, but like they move into like this beach town type of house with their grandfather, and so she's looking for a job. The older brother gets in with the Lost Boys, and like the younger brother likes comic books, so like he goes to a comic book store, and the two kids that I don't know if they own the comic book store, if they run it, or like what, because I didn't see any adults in that store whatsoever. But they have an extensive knowledge of the vampires, because everybody that's there knows about the Lost Boys. And with them, they start talking about like comics and stuff. And he goes like, oh, well, you should, like, if you like this, then you should read this. And it's about vampires. And so they're alluding to the fact of going like, you need to stay on your guard, read this comic book, because there are vampires here in town. Like, you need to be on the up and up. And his brother ends up turning into a vampire slowly throughout the movie. I mean, it's all right. I didn't really care that much about it.
Why did you watch it in the first place?
Well, it was like a really prolific like 80s movie. It's got the guy from 24 in it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now, but yeah, it's got the guy that played as 20, like the guy in 24. If you've ever seen that,
I need to rewatch 24 because my parents watched it a lot and they really liked it. But,
yeah, that's why I remember it, is because like it was always on TV.
Watch 24 anymore?
Where?
Like where?
It might be on Hulu because it's owned by Fox.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
It's like the best thing that
something.
Fox ever made.
Yeah,
Honestly.
pretty much.
The best. I mean, the best like
Live action thing.
and now it's
Yeah.
just a bunch of schlock that I get to
Right.
hear about every time I watch football on Fox. Just like what? Look at Fox's new show,
Yeah.
Doc, or 911 Montana, or
Yeah.
something.
Pretty much. Because, like, but yeah, I had a fascination with it, and I was just like, oh man, like, I heard this movie's supposed to be really good. I'll watch it. I didn't really care that much about it.
Yeah.
It was pretty boring. So, but last on my list, I have Samurai Cop. So, you definitely have not seen this or even heard of it. So, it's just about this cop with his partner. They are pretty much like off the cuff type of cops, right?
Yeah.
So like they basically like kill their perpetrators, and like and it's the usual trope of where their captain's always on their ass going like, man, you guys are causing more issues than problems and blah blah blah, or more problems than solutions.
You're a
blah,
loose
blah, blah.
cannon.
Yeah, you're a loose cannon. Get out of here. Give me your badge and gun. But yeah, there's this I think it's like this drug lord type guy that's Asian. And so like they know him to be the one that's like doing all of this stuff, but they can't prove anything by it. And but yeah, within like the first like I think it's 15 minutes, there's a sex scene, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, let's go.
Cool.
But it's interesting because it's called Samurai Cop. He doesn't do samurai things though. He does like fighting, but that's not really a samurai thing. And the thing is, like, even the bad guys are not samurai, or they're not a samurai gang or anything.
It's weird.
He has a sword at the end of the movie, and then that's it. Like, that's like the only time
He's the samurai cop.
he's a samurai cop that isn't a samurai. But there's a couple of funny things that I remember was that he's driving along and he goes like, talking to a deputy that's in a helicopter, and he goes like, hey deputy, can you check this out? Like here's where you need to go. And she goes like, yep, I still got the helicopter, like it's still warm. And he goes like, great. And so there's that, but then there's also the thing where, and then shortly after that, then they have sex, and that's where the sex scene comes in. So it's great. You get to see her butt and boobs. It's great. It's awesome. Love it. It's 91.
Is this the movie you were telling me about like last week when we were at work?
Yeah.
I
So,
see. Okay.
because the biggest thing that made me laugh the hardest was when him and his partner go to the hospital to go and interrogate one of the perpetrators, and he's badly burned, and so like he can't talk because his lips are badly burned.
Yeah.
And he's like basically in a coma. And so like it was either the nurse or the doctor comes in and goes like, oh yeah, like basically telling him, oh yeah, like he can't talk because his lips are badly burned or whatever. So like, they go like, well, how long is he going to be out for? They go like, oh, about a couple weeks. Like, okay, well, give us any news if there's anything that changes. And then the main guy and her, they go out of the room, and so she has a stethoscope around her neck. The reason why I say this is because that she goes like, oh, like they start talking, and she goes like, oh, do you want to fuck me? And just like blatantly like, oh, do you want to fuck me? And then he just goes like, takes the stethoscope, and he just goes like, bingo.
Would you like to fuck me?
Bingo.
And then I'm just like, and so she goes like, well, what do we got working on down here? Gropes him, and then goes like, it's not big enough. And so he goes like, oh, it's plenty big. And so she goes like, not big enough for me. And he goes like, well, I can make it work.
Oh my god.
Like I get the job done. And she goes like, that's just not what I'm looking for. And it's just like casually walks away, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Then let's see what you've got. Doesn't interest me. Nothing there.
Nothing there? Just exactly what would interest you? Something the size of a jumbo jet?
So definitely check out Samurai Cop if you haven't done so already. I will leave it at that. So it's great. It's a great time.
All right, let's get into this film.
Let's get into FNAF. So, first thing off the bat is like the beginning part of the security guard.
Yeah.
Where he gets strapped down into the chair, and then like they just basically kill him with the animatronic.
Yeah, they buzzsaw his face basically.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, like
Because he tries to get away through the vents,
Yeah.
which is not how the first game works.
no. Okay, so for those of you that know about FNAF, is the thing that like you're a security guard looking over an old pizzeria that's closed down. All you have to do is just basically watch the animatronics, and that's it. And like in the voicemail that is set up in the game is that you watch over the pizzeria, and the animatronics can be a little wacky and get up and move around,
Trunks
but
can
like
be a bit quirky at night.
yeah, and it's all like, oh, what you do is like you have 2 doors left and right, and then you also have 2 vents. Or no, you don't have the vents
No,
yet.
it's just the 2 doors.
yeah, and then
but
like you can light them up to see where the animatronics are, and then you close them, and you only have a finite battery. You have to go from, what is it, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., I think? So you only have 6 hours to actually
Yes.
like do your 5 nights at Freddy's. So, and then like, especially for the movie, they don't tell you any of this stuff. Like they give you exposition of going like, yeah, it's an old pizza place that used to be up and about back in the 80s, and like they give you more lore than ever before.
Well, this is its own thing, right?
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the original games.
Because here's the thing: this is also another video game movie that we were talking about too, and as we
Yeah.
have done so before. Video game based movies do not go off of the video games that they are based on.
Not always.
Not always, but most of the time. Like Tomb Raider was pretty close, but not all
Yeah.
the way. This is pretty close, but again, they just added in a bunch of stuff that weren't in actually the first game specifically.
This movie is for people who like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
Don't go into this movie if you don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's expecting it to be a good film.
Well, you can.
You
don't
could.
expect it to be a good movie, but you can just be like, oh, what's Five Nights at Freddy's? Like, you will have a more appreciation if you know more about the games.
Yes.
Because then you can actually appreciate this movie a lot more. But if you just go into this movie blind without even knowing what Five Nights at Freddy's is, I feel like that it's still pretty decent.
I feel like some things you're going to be pretty confused about, though.
Yes. 100%.
But like, before we actually get into the plot, do we want to go over the cast or anything like that?
Yeah, duh. Obviously. Sorry, it's pretty late. I was pretty tired.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's talk about the plot more specifically, directors, writers, stars, and all that bunch of boring stuff, and then let's get into our actual discussion. So, movie bare bones of what it is about. It is a troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I was going to say Freddy Five Nights at Freddy's Bears Pizza place. During his 5 nights on the job, he realizes that something is wrong with the pizzeria and pretty soon finds the truth about its animatronics. Got director Emma Tammy, writer Scott Cawthon, Seth Kudback, and Emma Tammy also wrote it as well. Just got a handful of people that we'll talk about here. So we got Josh Hutcherson, who plays as Mike. Sorry.
Mike Schmidt.
Yeah. Piper Rubio, who plays as Abby, who is his sister. Elizabeth Lale, who plays as Vanessa, who is the cop. Matthew Lillard returns.
Yeah.
Last time that we talked about him was in Scream for Halloween. So he plays as Steve. I am Steve.
I am Steve.
I thought he was Stu.
No, that's in Scream.
Oh.
So, yeah, his name is Steve.
Oh, Steve Raglan, but his real name is Michael Afton.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, who's Steve? Because I thought, wait.
I am Steve.
I am Steve.
Yeah, so, yeah. Matthew Lillard is great in this film.
And then we got Mary Stuart Masterson, who plays Aunt Jane, who is Shithead. Got Kate Connor Sterling, who plays Max as the babysitter. Her brother, Jeff, is played by David Lind. And
That's basically it. That's all you really need to know for this cast.
That's basically all that is. I'm not going to bother with the kids or anything like that.
Wait. We do have to. Where is he? Where is he in the cast?
Matt Pat?
Yeah, where is Matthew Patrick?
He's not in the top cast because he is just a cameo.
I know, but like he's got to be here somewhere.
Well, yeah, he's somewhere.
Does he have a page on IMDb?
I don't see him.
No.
I could have overlooked him, but let's see. Yeah, Matthew Patrick. Here he is. Sparky's Diner Waiter. There you go.
Yeah, and then there's Corey Williams down here.
Yeah,
he's a cab driver who's Corey X Kenshin on YouTube. Only Gen Z will know, people who know who that is. Basically, this movie got a couple of YouTubers in there that just did cameos. One of them was runs the channel of Game Theory.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of videos on Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game when it came out, because
and
it was
it's just a theory, a fan theory, or a game theory.
Lunch is the most important meal of the day, but it's just a theory.
I did want to talk about that, so we'll talk about that.
We'll get to that eventually. But did you know that Ethan Hutchinson, the guy who plays Mike, he's in Zathura.
Yeah, he is,
and he's also in Hunger Games. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
he's PETA.
Mm-hmm.
PETA.
Yeah, PETA. I got a couple taglines for you here. Can you survive?
Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, it's just can you survive? And then probably Five Nights at Freddy's.
I can probably figure it out.
When the night shift starts, the nightmare begins.
It's just
that's about it.
Reminds me, like, as we're talking about this, I do have a few gripes about this film now that I'm like resurfacing my thoughts about this film. So, but let's get into it because the plot is very bare bones. I will say
it is, because all it is that like Josh Hutcherson,
Mike is he's
a troubled guy with his jobs, and so he gets a security job at the pizzeria, basically just to keep people out and basically just watch over the place, and that's it.
His backstory is that his brother got kidnapped.
His little brother got kidnapped when he was 12. I think his brother was probably like 6 or 8,
something like that. When they were both very young, and he hasn't gone over that trauma.
Yeah, and
he has a sister that he's taken after, but like we don't get to know.
But he doesn't want the responsibility because he feels like that somebody else can take care of his sister a lot more because like she doesn't really care about him specifically early on. So
we, the audience, don't know that she's his sister until like later in like 20 minutes into the film when there's some exposition about what happened to his parents after his brother died. So he's been bouncing around from job to job trying to get money to be able to help his sister. He like literally he punches a guy into a fountain.
Well, here's the thing. I was gonna say this. So like he works as a security guard at the mall.
Yeah.
Originally, and then he is at like this ice cream place. Yeah. And so like the girl, it seems like that she likes him.
Yeah.
And so she just goes like, "Hey, do you want your usual?" And he goes like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so he notices that there's this kid who's just by himself, and then some guy comes walking up like forcefully taking him.
Yeah.
And so he goes like, "Hey," runs after him, chases him down, tackles him into the fountain, and just beats the living shit out of him. I was just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, you're not even going to ask him, like, hey, what the fuck do you think you're doing with this kid?
Yeah.
Like, no, you just straight up just start beating the dog shit out of this guy in the fountain in the middle of the mall.
Yeah, pretty irrational doing that. It's very, you ever played Heavy Rain? Or seen gameplay of Heavy Rain?
I've seen Heavy Rain.
It's like the whole premise of that game too is that his son gets kidnapped, and he's like, John. Yeah. No, he's Sean.
Yeah,
Sean. And then
when I first started working at the warehouse, that's what everybody was telling me not to tell Dan, was like he loves Heavy Rain.
Oh, really?
So like he loves all the memes behind it, so like don't yell Sean at him. I'm like, Sean. Hey Dan, Sean, and he goes like, Sean. Like
Sean.
That's really funny.
My favorite part, side tangent, my favorite part that I've seen about that game is that like someone's playing it, and like there's a sequence where you have to do a bunch of quick time events all
Yeah,
around
and
the
you
session.
can continuously spam Sean.
And you could not you could put Sean, but like he's trying to vault over stuff, but he continuously fails quick time events. So you can see like he's chasing after some guy. He just like he's trying to vault over something. He like fails at doing it. He like falls on the ground.
Yeah,
and like there's a guy carrying like a box of oranges or something like that. You crash into him, and he like so. It's a really funny video. I'll have to show you that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, same vibes where just chasing after some guy, but then he finally catches him again. Just like you beat a man up in front of his son.
Right. Because then after that, then he goes and see Matthew Lillard, who works at a temp agency, basically.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Steve Raglan. He's a job counselor, and he's
Yeah.
like, I got nothing. You know, you're a very hard man to find a job for, Mike. You've gotten fired from your last couple of jobs, and you can't really seem to figure it out, you know, and you just seem to have some
where
problems.
he talked about, what was he? He was like a tire technician or something like that, and he got fired after like 2 months because of insubordination.
Insubordination, yeah.
And then like his last job that he was at, he got fired after a week, and because of his aggression or something like that.
I don't know,
but he got fired after a week, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
So
like,
one detail you might have missed is that like he's reading over the paper and he goes like, "Yeah, I'm not sure I would have anything from Mr. Mike." They presumably
he
sees
sees his last name, and then
He's like, "You want some coffee?"
I forgot about I forgot about that he took the kid. I remember him being the bad guy. I remember that, but I didn't remember him like taking his brother. And so like when he looks at his last name, and then he like cuts himself off, and he goes like, "Do you want some coffee?" Like,
yeah,
I just made some coffee.
All of a
Do you
sudden
want
he
some?
changed his tune. Like he was ready to like kick this guy out the door, and then he's like, all of a sudden like, "I have a job for you."
Yeah. You could work an overnight security job at this old pizza place.
He basically says like, "Is the pay good?" No, but don't
the
worry,
hours are
the
worse.
hours are worse.
Yeah.
So
He just goes like, "Sorry, I can't do overnights.
I can't do nights." No, he says like, "I can't do nights." I was like, "What?" It's like, "I can't do nights," and he just walks out of the room.
Well, just in case you have a change of heart, here's my card. But yeah, I do love the aunt's lawyer when
Oh yeah,
they're at the school, and because she's just berating him because like, oh, he's not fit to take care of my niece and all this bunch of stuff and blah blah blah
and
blah.
she's like fake crying and like,
yeah, because she starts talking about like how he beat the shit out of the guy at the mall. She goes like,
that's
he
so
beat
brutal.
him, like he beat him at the mall in front of everybody, in front of his kid. And
this guy's a
sad.
madman. And then later on, like, I mean, also the lawyer's zonked out of his mind.
Yeah, he's just standing there like, and so she goes like, "Hey, Doug," and he goes like, "Oh, okay."
I never know what's
here
up
you
with them, and they get into them like child custody papers, and it's
go.
like,
Yeah.
like she just wants him so she can get like a monthly check from the state.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is like, I mean, it's a realistic scenario.
Yeah, it is.
But,
And like my thing too is like later on when she meets up with the babysitter and her older brother, or like her boyfriend or something like that.
No, they're I believe they're her brother basically.
Oh,
They're brother
is
and
he?
sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he meets, so like she sits down with them at like that the breakfast place, the diner.
Yeah, whatever.
Where Matt Pat's at.
Welcome to Sparky's.
Yeah. And so like the lawyer is all like, "I can't be listening to this," and he goes to like,
Yeah, because
get up.
they're talking about like, hey, can you just like steal something from their house or something? Like,
Well, like
make
the
him,
thing
like,
is
implicate
that
him?
like she wanted the babysitter to find something that would be tangible for like the cops to go
would
there.
implicate him
And like
as like being a
there's
bad
nothing,
like,
and so she
caretaker,
even
like,
tells her like, "Oh, there's nothing here. Like there's nothing there that I could do." And she goes like, "Well, find something. Like that's what I'm paying you for."
you could just kill him.
Yeah,
He's
and
like-
so he's all like, "I can't listen.
I can't listen to this." Yeah.
He tries to get up. She goes like, "Sit down."
But like going back to Mike, he's like they're talking about like, you know, all she does is draw pictures all day. Abby,
Yeah, and like
She's
I could
like-
draw dead, and she would still just continue to draw pictures.
and it's like that's not true. You're in all of her pictures because
Yeah.
you know pictures like hold tremendous power for children's imagination. That's gonna be important later, for some bullshit reason. So like eventually, like Mike turns around, and just like, you know what, I'll just take the job. So
yeah,
they're
calls up
Raglan.
Steve,
Yeah.
and then goes like, "Hey, I'll take the job." So.
And then we have a montage of him driving to the
Well,
pizzeria.
before that, like we have the Matt Pat cameo.
Oh, that's
at the
right.
diner
Sorry.
because he just goes like, oh yeah, like lunch is the most important meal of the day, and the guy goes like,
Isn't that breakfast?
I thought that was breakfast. He goes like, well, some people think that, and it's just a theory. And then he gets cut off.
You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day.
Thought it was breakfast.
Some people say that, but it's just a theory.
Are you being paid by the word?
And I'm just like, and it's a game theory, and I'm just like, oh man, like when I first watched that, I was just like, oh, that's MatPat, and then like he does his whole line, he goes like, well, it's just a theory, and then I was just like, and then like he gets cut off. I'm like, god damn it, you fucking teased me.
See, I didn't hate this cameo.
I didn't.
A lot of these cameos are kind of like really.
They're
forced.
just like shoehorned in. They're just like,
but like,
here, go out there and like do the thing that you do, and it's like, oh, okay. Wubba lubba dub dub, and it's just like, oh my god, he said it. Like,
yeah, but like, and it wasn't really a big meme or anything like that.
It wasn't. It was just the thing that he did in his videos.
And then he's never seen again in the film. Like, it's fine, good. Yeah. Like that was a good one. That's a nice like little inside joke that people who like play the games might like.
Right.
But it wasn't too forced, so I like that.
Right.
But like they don't meet until after he like the first night that he goes to Freddy's. I'm pretty sure though. Because like they so sorry to screw events up like that, but
it doesn't matter
because I'm pretty sure like after he calls Raglan, we get a montage of him going to the pizzeria and then like Raglan's giving him the instructions over the phone,
the info dump / instructions, kind of like what they do in the game with the voicemail.
Yeah,
he just goes like, hello. I'm going to assume that you're already there if you're listening to this. So, like, here's all the exposition that you need.
Yeah, just like, electricity's funky. This place was really popular in the 80s. Just sit in the security room, watch the cameras, make sure nobody gets in.
Yep,
when
pretty much.
Really the thing is, like, make sure nobody gets into your office.
Right.
But, oh yeah, we forgot to mention this, but, like, another thing of Mike's shtick is
he's trying to lucid dream, trying to figure out who took his brother.
Big proponent of dream theory, and the way he does that was he listens to nature sounds while he sleeps, and he looks up a poster of Nebraska,
which is super funny because I'm all like, oh yeah, like I wrote this down specifically. It says like pining for fun, go like visit Nebraska. I'm just like, Nebraska isn't fun though. Like,
it's not the place you would think of immediately when you think of fun,
but not inherently.
Maybe they were vacationing in Nebraska or something, but like you cannot believe the clamor that was in. Like I told you, I watched this movie for the first time with my Discord friends.
Yeah.
And they know I live in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh my God, Jack,
you live there? Yeah, you live there. Aren't you pining for fun yet?" It's like,
even I was like, "Oh, Nebraska mentioned."
Yeah.
So
Nebraska mentioned in the comments.
He does, and like he does this when he goes to the pizzeria. Like he falls asleep. And when he falls asleep, he's back at the site where his brother got taken. But he's an older guy now, and he remembers everything that happened.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden,
he just doesn't know what the guy looks like that took him. That's the only thing.
He sees his brother get taken away, and all of a sudden, these 5 children appear in front of him, and you can see that one of them in front of them has gold hair. And the guys in the back room, one of them has bunny ears, and the other one has a top hat, and one of them has a pirate hook.
Yeah.
And the other one has like a Let's Eat shirt, and it's like, wow, I wonder what these could be.
those are for the Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, up to this point, we have not seen hide nor hair of Freddy and the gang, except for a couple of signs of Freddy on like outside. Like the place is decrepit.
Oh yeah,
which is
run down.
Which is basically how it is in the first game too. It's like
pretty much. It's
like,
not upkept, but then we have Vanessa, who comes in sometime after. But
like I think it's the second day.
I think it's the second night. Yeah. Because I think it's dumb because they basically shoehorned her character in because she's not even prevalent up until like because like she's not prevalent in any of the base games. Like
up until
I think Security Breach is. I think
she's supposed to be Vanny or Vanessa, like a character that arrives long after the main canon of Five Nights at Freddy's.
I think that the only time that she comes in is like Security Breach.
Yeah,
that's the only recent thing that I remember her being in was Security Breach.
But
I could be wrong. But,
Vanessa is this police officer that shows up because Freddy's is on her beat.
Yeah.
She's just like a patrol officer, and she knows everything about Freddy's because she used to love it going there as when she was a kid. A suspicious amount for a police officer to know about the building,
Right.
by the way. But we'll figure out why that is later. But like the reason that she comes there after Mike is dreaming, and like he chases down one of the kids that tries to get away, and he slashes him with his hook. And that's supposed to be Foxy, the pirate, like attacking him while he's sleeping. And then Vanessa notices that, and then
wakes
like
him up.
stuff like that. So like the thing I like about this movie is that it does actually take place over the span of 5 days.
Yes, it does.
Like there are 5 nights at Freddy's, which people would have like. It would have been really annoying if it was only like a couple of days or like 3 days. And it's like, I thought it was supposed to be 5 nights at Freddy's. Why is it called that? And like there actually is 5 days. You can see it broken down.
Yeah.
I've got to be able to get through this quickly.
Well, I mean, like we could just talk about specific things, not the whole
we don't
plot.
have to not the whole plot,
So,
but like.
But like I do like when the animatronics go after the thieves, because like that was the whole thing when they were at the diner.
They were explaining like, how can we make him like a criminal,
right? And then so they're all like, so the guy goes like, well, we just break into his work because like we can go during the day when he's not there, and they just fuck up the place and grab anything that we can.
Then he gets fired, and then he
loses custody over his sister, and then
you get her, and then we get like $5,000.
Yeah.
So,
but she goes like $2,000. So he says 5, but then she turns it down to 2,000.
It is 2, and then she turns it down to 1. They're like, okay. So they go there. They trash the place after Mike leaves. And then the animatronics come to life finally, and they start killing them all.
Which I did like, because it's the only horror aspect that happens in the movie. Because when I first watched this, I was all like, oh, cool, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, some fucked up shit's going to happen because it's all in the trailers. There's only like this part, and at the end is when they start going fucking crazy.
It's really goofy,
and
honestly.
starting to like kill people. That's
like,
it.
Was that the bite of 87?
It's like cartoonishly, like cartoonish horror, like.
Which I was also going to mention this because I just remembered that the animatronics were actually real puppets, and they were made by Jim Henson Company.
Really?
They did the Muppets and stuff. So
I'm glad we're finally talking about them, because I don't like specifically how they did the eyes.
Yeah.
I feel like the eyes move too much.
Well, for some scenes, they did a little bit of CGI, and in majority of the scenes, they were like actually puppets.
Yeah, but like here's why I don't like them specifically, is that the reason that the animatronics
their
were
eyes
scary,
turn color.
The eyes turn color. That's one thing. In the games, the animatronics are unsettling because they don't blink, and their eyes are constantly open. Right.
Yeah.
But in this game, their eyes
the movie.
They have a lot. Well, I mean, not in this game, the movie. In the movie, their eyes are constantly emoting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Their eyebrows are raising. The eyelids are they're narrowing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's less scary to me. It makes them seem more like they're more robot than they are being controlled by ghosts.
Yeah.
I feel like a ghost would just take control of the body, not so much of the face.
Right.
It was more creepy in the games that they couldn't move their eyes. Their eyes were always wide open.
Yeah.
For me, at least. But now, and also the fact that they turn red sometimes, that's just,
If they're
I
mad.
find that completely lame.
Yeah.
Because
that was the overarching thing, was that later on we find out that the animatronics are being possessed by the ghost of the children that were killed by the main bad guy. But we find out towards the end that it was actually Matthew Lillard was the bad guy that kidnapped all of these kids and threw them in the animatronics, and that's the reason why they couldn't find them, was because that their bodies were stuffed in the animatronics.
Yes.
Because they had this not a pulley system, but they had spring system.
Spring locks.
Yeah, they had spring locks in the chest cavity to where for the people that would wear them would be locked into the suit itself.
And I'm not sure if that's
and then
for
it was a
all,
safety issue.
I'm not sure if that's for all the animatronics. I think
No,
that's
especially
just
for Matthew Lillard's suit. That's how his was.
Yeah, that's how William Afton. He was the Yellow Rabbit. He was Springtrap.
Yeah.
Because like the way that like we find out later that he's controlling the animatronics and he can basically make them do whatever he wants when he wants them to do it.
Yeah.
They're not like that all the time, but like he can make them turn on people.
Right. And then like especially where Mike is trying to find out about like his brother's disappearance or kidnapping and stuff, where he asks his sister because now she's become friends with the animatronics.
Yes,
with
like
Freddy
they won't hurt her because she's like them.
Yeah,
she's
and
a
so
child
like
them.
What they inherently want is for her to be with them.
She wants them to be like them and stuck in a suit because they're lonely.
Right, and because like they don't have anybody else, and so they want a new friend to join them and their crew.
But
the Freddy and the gang, they visit Mike in his dreams, and so they ask him like, well, what do you really want? And he goes like, I want my brother back. And they go like, okay, well, we can make that happen. And he goes like, well, what do you want in return? So they go like, well, you're willing to give up anything for him? And he goes like, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, we want your sister.
We want Abby.
And then originally
he was like
the last dream that he has with them is like, okay, well, yeah, I'll do it. And then immediately goes like, no,
wait, never mind. I don't want
I don't want that. That was a mistake. Like, I didn't mean for that to happen. And then all of a sudden, like, now everybody's gone. And then they start slashing him up. And then it's just like he wakes up and then he finally gets out of the pizzeria before Foxy can get to him. And then Vanessa patches him up at the old abandoned, not abandoned, but like an old
police station, I think.
It's like an old police station or like compound or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So she patches him up. But yeah, I just think that was like a pretty interesting concept that they threw into the movie. Was like, okay, well, the kids are supposed to be like the animatronics, and that's why they're dressed up the way that they are.
Yeah.
And like they are subtly more and more as time progresses, as he goes into his dreams, that like, hey, we promise that we can give you back your brother. But how is that going to work?
How are they going to do that?
Like,
why would he
they don't know where his brother is. So why the hell would they be like, oh, well, we can make sure that he never left in the first place? But how though?
It could be that they never were going to do that, and maybe they were just being controlled by William Afton their whole time. Their souls. Somehow he manipulated him through his dreams.
That's the other thing
by
that I didn't
manipulating the kids' souls.
Yeah, that's the other thing I didn't understand is like, if he's able to lucid dream, and this is even before he goes to the pizzeria, that like they're there in his dream anyway. So how does that work? Like,
I think it's because when he goes to sleep inside the pizzeria.
Well, I know that when he falls asleep in the pizzeria, that they're able to influence his dream.
Yeah.
When he's lucid dreaming, but even before that, when he was lucid dreaming, at some point the kids are just there, and he goes like, "Hey, where did you guys come from?"
I don't think the kids arrive until he gets to the pizzeria.
I don't think so. I think it was before that, and then they actually talk to him.
When was that, do you think?
Probably the night before he goes to the pizzeria.
How would they have gotten to his dream if he hadn't been to the pizzeria?
That's what I'm trying to ask.
I
could be wrong.
I don't think they got into his dreams until he got there.
Because that would
make no sense.
Because I know that he tries to talk with them, and then Foxy because he chases after them, and then Foxy
No, that's the second night.
Well, yeah.
The first night he chases after the kid with the golden hair, and he doesn't catch him.
Yeah.
They get away.
Right.
But that's on the first night when he doesn't see any of the animatronics.
Right. Well,
that's on the first night he gets to Freddy's.
I know, but then there's also another one where he turns around and he goes like, "Where did you guys come from? Who are you guys?" And then he wakes up because they're just standing there and they're not saying anything. They're not doing anything. So.
Or you know what? I think what it is. He doesn't fall asleep the first night that he's at Freddy's. He goes home.
Yeah.
So he was there.
Yeah.
So he got there in the first place.
Right.
Spent the night there.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
And then he goes home, and then he goes to sleep.
So I think just him being in the place, him stepping foot in there, they got into him somehow.
Maybe. Oh,
maybe.
But
I'm misremembering that too.
Ultimately,
a lot of repetition in this film.
Yeah, ultimately, it doesn't matter because again, how the hell can if he's lucid dreaming, how are they going into his dream? That's the big question. But they never explained that.
Ghosts.
Yeah, because they're spirits.
We just
whatever.
kind of have to accept it as what they're going with. Because there's a lot of stuff in 5 Minutes of Freddy's lore that you kind of just have to go along with because it's like really dumb, like how possession works. You know, we don't understand how ghosts work, but we just sort of like accept the mechanics as they are. You know.
Yeah, but one of the things that I did appreciate, and I feel like that Matthew Lillard cannot get away from this now from Scream, is when he's about to like stab Mike, he does the whole like knife swipe that he does in Scream.
You, however, are finished.
That's
as Ghostface, and I'm just like, okay, cool. He's still doing the knife trick, and now you can even play as his character in Until Dawn. Or not Until Dawn.
Death by Daylight.
Yeah, Death by Daylight.
Yeah, Death by Daylight.
I feel like that
and
they
Springtrap's
have
in that game too. So.
Yeah, and I think Freddy is too, isn't he?
No, I think it's just Springtrap.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Because I mean, Springtrap is like a serial killer. So
yeah. Plus, once he's like pretty much like being killed, I feel like he goes like, I'll come back. I always come back.
That's what he says in the game.
Yeah.
So
I was all like, I'm pretty sure that I heard him say that in Scream. So then I looked it up and I'm like, and then like it just says like, no, this is the only time that he says it, like in movies, is like, because in Scream he says like, I'll be right back. And then, but in this movie specifically, he says, "I always come back."
No, because that line's something that William Afton says in the games. So
he says it in the movie.
I always come back. Yes.
Yeah.
But that is not.
But
That's not a Scream
goes
reference.
into. I know. That's what I'm saying, Jack. I said I looked this up to make sure, and it's not in Scream. He says, "I'll be right back."
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So, and then in the game / movie, he says that, and that's the only time that he says it.
Right.
Yeah. So you're confirming with me. Okay.
Yes. I'm agreeing with you, damn it.
Yes. But my other thing too is like nobody ever questions about the deaths that happen. Like when the thieves go in, nobody like questions that. Nobody raises any like nobody asks any questions about that. There's no warrant, there's no wanted posters for them. There's no like missing persons reports. There's nothing. Even when Mike is trying to call her and just goes straight to voicemail, or not straight to voicemail, but like it goes to voicemail a few times, and he just goes like, all right, well, fuck it, like I'll just take my sister with me to the pizzeria. But like,
well, they've only been gone a day or a couple days.
Well, yeah, but I just think it's kind of weird that nobody else is questioned of going like, well, where are these people? Plus Vanessa was also there too, and she like found his sleeping pills there. And so she goes like, oh, anybody else would have just like flagged if something happened there.
Well, I mean, she doesn't say anything because Vanessa is...
She's in on it.
She's in on it because
But then she has to change her heart at the end.
She's William Afton's daughter.
Yeah.
Right. But then she dies because William Afton stabs her.
Not really, because she ends up in the hospital. And she's also in the second one.
Oh, that's right, yeah. She doesn't die. They save her.
She gets stabbed in the stomach. Yeah. But... the thing that I wanted to say about the second one is that Matthew Lillard is in the second one.
Well, yeah.
Again. But here's the other thing, is that I watched both trailers last night so that way I could see this. I was all like, wait, is that the guy from Scream? And it is. Skeet Ulrich, who was in the first Scream, who plays as Billy.
Right.
He's also in the second Five Nights at Freddy's.
Is he like the new security guard, or
no? He's just like a side character type guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know specifically who he is because like they never said like, oh, it's Rick, or like, hey, like you were the old mechanic that worked there or anything like that. I don't even know who he could be. I think he might have worked at like this first location, because the place that they're working at in the first one is the updated one. And then there was another one, especially in the second one, that is more in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So, and that's where all of the actual like killings happened.
Yeah.
But I did a little bit of research.
Was that the bite of 87?
On the game specifically about like the lore and everything. And so like the reason why that there is a golden Freddy, like in I think it's the second one, that Golden Freddy is a thing?
No, the first one.
Is it the first one?
Yeah, he was always in the first one, but then he becomes more of a
Brown.
He gets more explained in the second one.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is that like there's a reason why there's a Golden Freddy more specifically is because that's the older model that they used.
Yes.
And so like the fur that they used or whatever that they used, with time got deteriorated, and so like it just became more golden brown than normal brown than Freddy.
Well, I think it may have just always been gold.
Well, it was always gold, but then they added more lore based on that, though, is the thing. So, but, yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, like, the thing that's really dumb to me is that the way that Afton controls the animatronics.
Well, I guess that we could talk about that, too, like, more specifically about the ending, but continue.
Yeah, the way that Afton controls the animatronics is a really stupid way. That, like, first of all, that's not how it works in the game.
They're not being mind controlled or anything like that.
You can't just control them. They're not. They're ghosts. They're gonna do what they want.
Yeah.
But in this movie specifically, there's a drawing on the wall at Freddy's that depicts a golden rabbit holding hands with 5 children.
Yeah.
And the 5 children are obviously Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and then Golden Freddy, which Golden Freddy also shows up to pick up Abby from her house.
Right.
Because
and that was the thing, was that like that's the older model. And like that's the reason why he's golden in the first place, because his fur deteriorated and whatever.
It also bothers me because Golden Freddy is not supposed to be like a animatronic that walks around.
Yeah.
He's limp in the games because he's supposed to be an empty costume.
Right.
He's like Springtrap, or he's like the Yellow Rabbit, where he's supposed to be a costume.
Yeah.
And so
they're supposed to be able to wear him and not be an animatronic.
The theory is that the child is possessing the costume of the bodies. That's why he can't move around.
Right.
But they made him move around in this one, so that's a little bit weird. But you can tell that he's older because he's got a broken ear and his eyes are blue.
Right.
And stuff like that. Like he has no eye sockets. But
yeah.
Golden Freddy kills the aunt. He's like, oh, she's just sleeping.
She fell down. She's silly. She fell down.
Like Abby and Golden Freddy get into the back of a cab, and the guy who's driving it is a YouTuber who does a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's stuff.
That was the other guy that we talked about.
So back to the drawing. That's the reason why they don't attack Afton when he's wearing the Yellow Rabbit costume, because there's a
they see him as a friend.
He's a friendly, and so the way that they go about that, where he's not controlling them anymore, is that Abby draws a picture of the Yellow Rabbit with a knife, and he has an angry face, and all the kids
and he just killed them
over their eyes, and he just puts it over the old drawing.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they attack
turn on him. Yeah.
Which I think is really,
which
really
I also thought it was
stupid.
Interesting, because if they're able to control their own animatronics, right? So they can't possess the other animatronics, right?
Yeah, they're all stuck
Freddy
in their
is
own.
Freddy, Bonnie's Bonnie, all that stuff. But my thing is that, like, how is Afton being stabbed in the ribs by the spring trap that's in the costume?
Well, in the lore, how the spring traps work is that they're always sort of a shoddy system.
Yeah.
That you push the spring traps out of the way, but they become loose if you get them wet or you breathe on them.
Yeah.
So I guess
because they're spring trapped. Loaded.
When they slashed at his costume, that activated the spring locks, and they just started crushing him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now, like at the end of the movie, you can see that Afton is like bleeding out in a corner in a back room.
Yeah, and his costume isn't working because he's fighting to get like his arm up.
Yeah, and so like Golden Freddy closes the door on him, and that's kind of like how it works.
Well, I mean, like the kid is just there. It's not really like Golden Freddy or anything. That's the kid.
He is the kid, but like the kid who is possessing Golden Freddy closes the door on him, because like how it works is obviously if you die or if your body gets connected to an animatronic in the lore of the games, you possess that animatronic.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, like it was like the info dump that Vanessa gave Mike, is that like, yeah, like, the guy killed a bunch of the kids, and like the cops looked around, didn't find anything for weeks, and like,
Because they
but
never
why
thought
would
to
they?
look.
Because they never thought to look inside of the animatronics specifically.
Which is
so
dumb
their
because-
bodies are in the animatronics, and that is why that they are being possessed.
Which is dumb because they literally in the game say that the costumes smelled and they were leaking pus and like bodily fluids and stuff like that. Is like it would be very obvious to find them.
Right.
But like why this is important is that William Afton is still like kind of shaking around is because he's probably going to come back and like his dead body is going to possess his own costume.
Yeah.
And he walks around then and they become Springtrap the animatronic, who's the
Right.
main enemy in the third game.
Yeah.
So a bunch of lore there. Again, this movie will not make a lot of sense to people, I think,
That don't understand.
At least the like little there's okay. I won't say the whole movie won't make sense, but there are some details in this movie that people won't understand why that is if they don't follow FNAF lore extensively,
Right.
Like I do. Mm-hmm. So, but that's all I really have to say about the rest of the movie. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'd say. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that when we get into our ratings.
Cool. Which, speaking of ratings, let's jump into our ratings.
Yes,
system here.
yes.
So what we do here is that we will say if it is a rent, buy, or a skip. Rent is just it's an all right type of movie. Buys, of course, it is a fuck yeah type of movie. It is the best of the best of the best, sir, with honors type of movie. Or it's a skip. It is a huge piece of dog shit movie to where don't even waste your time, or even for the laughs or the goofs or the memes, don't even watch it. Like War of the Worlds or Snow White or Dragon Ball Evolution. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'd say that it's a rent
I mean, it's alright, like.
for me because I mean, like, I enjoyed it enough. I mean, this is my second time watching it now, so and I still was pretty entertained by it. I'm not a big fan of FNAF just because I never really played the games. I don't really care that much about the lore as it is anyway, but I enjoyed the movie enough. I appreciated for what they were doing in the sense of it being that it's a video game based movie again. And it created a lot of buzz to where now it's going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
Now it's coming out this weekend when this video comes out. So, but like, you know, it definitely was entertaining, but it was pretty boring at times too. So, but there's just a lot of stuff we're going like, okay, well, why should I care about Mike? Why should I care about his sister? What's all this bunch of stuff about his brother? Who gives a shit about this? This isn't FNAF.
Yeah.
Was the big caveat to when I first watched this. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. Why does this matter? But yeah, I don't know. I just think it was an alright horror-based movie. I really wish that they would have gone more in-depth about the scariness instead of like the few jump scares that are in it. Especially with like the balloon boy statue that they had in there a couple times.
That was just funny, if anything.
Like
that was just a good
they
laugh.
tried to do jump scares and it didn't work.
No.
The only horror aspects is like halfway through the movie. I think it's like literally halfway through the movie. It's like 40 minutes in because it's an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. Where you got the thieves coming in and then the animatronics kill them, but they're not as gruesome because it's a PG-13 movie.
Right.
And then on top of that is just at the end when they kill Afton. And then like they just like basically put him in the corner in another room and just for him just to suffer.
Yeah.
Like that's it. But yeah, I feel like they could have done a lot more horror for the movie, kind of like they do for the games. And I know that with the games, it's more of a jump scare, right? It's just like, oh shit, like Freddy's coming for me. Okay, I got to close this door. No, he's over on the left. So then he jumps up and he scares me. So that's more of the horror element to it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the second one for Freddy to find Gregory up in the rafters. He goes like, Gregory, how, like, what, how, I forgot the line now. But
Gregory,
like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, how did you get up there? So,
Gregory, what the f are you doing? How did you get up there?
like that was the thing for me that I am waiting for, is for him to go like, how did you get up there? I just think that meme's funny. But yeah. I just think it's an all right type of movie. But what about you, Jack?
Well, for me, I will also say it's a rent.
For me,
Yeah, for me. I'll say it is also a rent.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I am more into FNAF lore than I care to admit because actually, no, I don't care to admit. I'm going to say that I do care to admit.
Yeah.
That I really like FNAF story and the deeper meaning of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the thing about FNAF that always got to me is that it's always implied horror. It's always about suspense more than anything. Is that
it's not just like given to you. It's all like, here's all this information.
But at the same time, FNAF has never been about what your character is doing. Your character is a
you
vessel.
are a security guard. That's all.
Yes, it's never been about the main character of this. The main character has never been you, the player.
Yeah.
Or the character that your player is
It's
controlling.
always about the animatronics and the story behind them.
And it's always about, like, there's a vast story behind everything that has to do with Five Nights at Freddy's, which, if you want a more extensive, like, breakdown of Five Nights at Freddy lore, Wendigoon has an amazing video about the Five Nights at Freddy's lore that I go back to every once in a while because it's just such a good interpretation of what the story is all about.
Yeah.
But as for this movie in general, like, I remember liking it when I first watched it, and I still think I like it.
Yeah.
Mostly because it is more so for the people who like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
Who played the games, who understand who know about the lore. It has little bits pieces sprinkled in there, but it's its own thing. Most likely to be able to appeal to people who aren't in Five Nights at Freddy's, which I don't know how well that would work because I don't know anybody who hasn't played Five Nights at Freddy's who has seen this movie, who has reviewed it like that. But there's some things this movie does pretty well. There's things that are not done very well, like the emphasis on Mike Schmidt as the main character that kind of falls flat.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about there's kids that died and they're stuffed inside animatronics is really, really downplayed.
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
It's more about like, hey, let's have fun with the animatronics with Abby and something like that. Let's all like make a fort.
Yeah,
and like
because they're kids, like they want to have fun. And
like these costumes must smell horrible because
Yeah.
they've got dead, rotting carcasses in them.
Right.
Which has been
the
subtext that
80s,
is
so
not
about 30 years.
Yeah, is completely ignored.
Yeah,
and it's like the horror of that is put to the wayside to be able to like shovel out a lot of things that are like, oh, it's kind of spooky about this old pizzeria, and like here's Freddy, and the animatronics look great.
Yeah,
aside from the eyes.
Which I will also say this because I just remembered this. So like when the thieves go in, because you know like when you first like bring up the cameras and you start cycling through them, like you see Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica all in a line together, side by side.
Yes.
They do that specifically at that angle of all three of them standing next to each other. And I'm like, that's a cool nod to the game because that's what specifically you see in the game.
Like,
and then the other thing too was like, oh, they start rummaging through stuff. They start breaking stuff and whatever and start trashing the place. And then all of a sudden, one of them is gone. And you're like, oh shit, one of them is gone. Just like if you were to go back and look at the cameras after a few minutes, one of them is gone. Like Bonnie's gone for some reason. And you're just like, oh shit, where's Bonnie now? So
here's what I have to say to that. That is cool.
Yeah.
But at that point, the directors is not expecting the audience to get freaked out by that.
No.
They're expecting the audience to get up and cheer for that. Like,
oh, yeah,
clapping,
yeah.
like,
They're just like, yeah, that's from the game. That's cool.
That's so that like
that's not an oh shit moment. That's a fuck yeah moment.
It's like, oh cool, we're gonna get to see that instead of like, oh my god, that thing moved.
Right.
So like,
it's like, wait, it's gone. Where is it?
It's more fan servicey than it is trying to be authentic horror.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's the horror of Five Nights at Freddy's comes through the gameplay.
Yeah, yeah.
The story itself is not that scary. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
right?
it's fucked up in the sense of going like, well, you have the animatronics that just kill kids out of fucking nowhere, or security guards or whoever.
Yeah,
so,
like children go missing all the time, and they're connected to this pizza place that keeps like opening its doors, shutting down. They really have a really shady reputation.
Yeah,
and at the center of it is one guy who went on a killing spree along the and he's trying to cover up his crime and stay low, but he can't stop killing, because of an accident that happened to his kid a long time ago. That's the actual FNAF lore, but that's not expanded upon here. In this one, William Afton is just a child serial killer, and that's it. We don't get to see any of his motivations or whatnot. He's just evil.
Yeah. And
he kills his daughter, or tries to kill her with a knife and stuff like that. So not very deep. Acting's not great in this film. I will say it's very, they did the best they could with what they had.
Yeah, Josh Hutcherson isn't that great at emoting in this movie. He's just kind of like a robot the whole time.
Is it Ethan Hutchinson?
No, Josh Hutcherson.
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Aiden Hutchinson. He's a football player on the Lions.
Probably.
It's just okay. Like I said, I was trying to say the animatronics look good. I hate their eyes, but they are very faithful recreations of what they look like in the game. Scott Cawthon had a lot to do with this. Love it when the creator of the original media is involved in the adaptation of it. So, but it's a rent ultimately. It's not amazing, but it did its best enough to be, like I said, enough to warrant a sequel. So that's my take on it.
Cool. Well, if there's nothing else, let's move on to suggested people to close out the podcast. So, basically what we do with suggested people is that we go into IMDb, we look up a 1, 10, sometimes both star review, depending on what we give the movie with our in-depth analysis on it. In this case, I just want to do a 1 star just because I find that to be a little bit more hilarious to see both of them. So, one that I have pulled up is this person saying, "Why? This movie was so bad that I made it a count just to warn everyone else not to waste their time. I could pop a perk and still not enjoy myself. What the frick, dude?
What the frick, dude?
And why do reviews need to be so long? There was literally nothing else to say. It was bad. It made no sense. I understood it, but it was so poorly written that I just continuously scratched my head and wondered why I decided to watch the movie instead of blowing my own head off."
Very detailed.
Okay. It wasn't that bad of a movie.
It really wasn't.
What was going on? So many unanswered questions, plot holes. So what did they do with the random bodies? See, that was one of the questions that I had. Nobody ever found them? Seriously? Nobody? Be serious. I mean, that was also my question too. Next time I want to waste 2 hours, I'll go to the DMV. At least I'd get something out of it in the end.
Okay, getting some strong energy here, getting some strong feelings. No need to pull out the DMV here. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like, that's the one part of this movie that they really did kind of forgot about was the whole mystery of dead children going missing and nobody found the bodies.
Right.
Right?
Was that plus also like I said, the babysitter and the guy's gang and stuff like that?
They
like
went
his
missing
friends.
and nobody
questioned it. Nobody asked any questions. Nobody did anything about that. So it's supposed to be Five Nights at Freddy's, not like go find the thieves.
Not 5 years at Freddy's or 5 weeks, 5 months.
It's called 5 minutes at Freddy's. You only have 5 minutes to make it out.
That probably is like how the first couple days, just 5 minutes of him being at the pizzeria and then move on.
Right.
Let's make a fort.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I agree on some stuff of what that guy was saying. About,
I don't think he was specific enough.
No, well, there's like some things, not everything, but just some of the more specific things of going like, well, what about the bodies? Nobody questioned about this.
Moaning and whining and.
But I mean, like, they just needed to move along with the plot, so like, it didn't really matter. But the whole plot is just Mike going and being the security guard, and like his sister loves the animatronics and like they're friends, and like now even in the second one, where she goes to the old pizza place because they talk to her with the little walkie-talkie that you get in one of the games, and so also they give Josh Hutcherson the mask that you can wear to disguise yourself as one of the animatronics in the second one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because if you don't have power to shut off the doors, you can just disguise yourself by putting on a Freddy mask, and it's just like, oh, look, it's Freddy. Holy shit, dude. Like, what's up? And then they just walk away and they leave you alone. So, and then especially in the trailer that I saw where he just goes like, no, that's not going to work. And then one of the animatronics comes out, and then like he puts it on, and it's just like freaks him out and stuff. So I feel like that the trailer is kind of like in the first one, where it's alluding to that all this fucked up, horrible shit's going to happen. But I feel like it's only going to be for like 5 minutes.
This movie is not scary.
It's not.
It's not.
It's a child's horror movie.
It's baby's first horror movie.
Baby's first horror movie. So, but
yeah.
Anything else on the movie or anything you want to talk about?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Nope, I'm done.
He's coming to scowl you. He's scowy.
Big Bear.
I'm still trying to remember that off the top of my head. Like, Gregory, how the fuck did you get up there?
Gregory, what the fuck are you doing? How did you get up there?
Gregory, what the are you doing? How did you get up there?
That's it. I keep fucking it up. Anyhow, there's nothing else. Thank you everybody so much for watching and listening, tuning in, however you guys are doing it. Again, be sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram. Like everything. Share this around. Comments on this, what favorite movie that you guys want us to talk about, or a movie that you're interested to hear about. So, like Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So, I don't know.
Could be.
Let us know. But, yeah. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week for something new. So, bye.
Bye.